I'm in the living room. Let me see my. Yeah.
Really? Stop playing around.
I'm gonna be on a brick, boy.
This nigga here.
Yeah.
You are stupid.
I want to know if they got any more.
You playing around with the stuff. You
Oh,
know?
okay. Come on. Oh, I gotta take it off. Blurry. Oh man. See, I just don't like that mattress in my background.
I, I don't. That's a mattress. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
this is a futon mattress.
Ain't nobody would have do it if you didn't say that.
I know.
I can't stand you. Nobody would have do.
See, but on your side, it doesn't look like a mattress. On mine, you can see the curve off. But then that means I gotta get closer to you.
I don't want you to be on my back knees.
And that's right.
There you go. I moved. Shit. Are you messing with my puff?
Okay, come on. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You messing with my puff. Okay. Okay.
We ain't getting off focus now.
Okay. What's up, y'all? It's the patio with Kim and Quila. I'm Kim,
I'm Quila.
and we just gonna sit here and chill and talk about it takes a village. That's what we're gonna talk about. It takes a village. 'Cause, girl, I know these days compared to old days is not where it's at.
It's not.
I now granted, most of my village for me that I'm aware of didn't occur until shit. I don't know. Probably high school, I guess.
But it depends on the village that we're talking about. So let's start off with the basic villages and then we can expand to something else.
Okay, okay. So what basic ones you want to talk about first?
Okay, so growing up, you have your basic village. You have, depending on if your parents raised you, your grandparents raised you, a guardian, whoever. Okay.
Mhm.
In my case, I'm gonna use my parents. It was my parents, and then they break out, and they have a mom and dad. But my family is a little different dynamic because I have my dad's side,
Mm,
and his wife.
mm.
So you got that branch off.
I got that.
Then you got my mom
Mm,
and her mom and her dad, and then they branch off. You see what I'm saying?
hmm
So it's like the blended families of all sorts.
Yeah.
So growing up, I had aunties galore, uncles galore.
We not gonna talk about kids. We actually shrank.
That's what I got to say. So if you as a kid growing up and you have whoever your guardian is, they have their village on top of that, then depending on what neighborhood and stuff you lived in, your neighbors was also your village. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So as Kim said, growing up, your village gets smaller and smaller because people go their separate ways. People got minds of their own. They be like, yo, I ain't got to deal with them no more because they grown. Or I don't bang with your family. I
Right.
don't bang with your daddy. You see, and as a kid, you don't see all of that. You see what I'm saying? They try to hide it.
Hmm.
We knew, well, I knew a lot of the issues, but I sat back because what do they tell you? Stay in the child's place, right?
But you
But
ain't
as
here
you get
listening to
older,
adults for.
you be like, yo, I remember when y'all did that mess.
I need that. I needed to hear that conversation. I need to know what happened there.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the basics when you start from scratch. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, it doesn't matter if you have one parent, two parents, no parents.
Right.
You always have that start off, the basics.
See, for me, well, I'll start with my mom's village because she had the biggest village. My grandpa, his mom came from a woman, my second great grandma. She had 20 some kids. And I want to say about 15 to 18 survived until after toddler age. And so when you have that many aunts and uncles, and then including the cousins, that's a village. I mean, at one point, our church was just full of 99% family. I don't know about now, but by the time it rolled down to me, I didn't see. I seen spurts. I'll put it that way of the village because some people did help. I guess help my mom in order to help me and my brother.
You ain't had no village, girl. You had a colony.
Them people was long. Most of them people was long dead by the time I can remember.
Take it back to the old days. It's small. You go in,
No,
you go out. Everybody know each other.
we
But
had
you're talking about 20 plus.
we had tried. We had tried.
Girl, what are you talking about?
And then, I mean, my dad, he's number 11 out of 12 kids just by his mom. I think his dad had maybe like 5 others besides my dad's younger brother, which would be my grandma's 12th kid. But I'm sure, that was a village in itself right there. I mean, he go into school with cousins. And so, you know, you always had somebody to look out for you because you always had family. Fast forward to when I could remember about having family around it or needing that type of village. Uh, I'll say junior high. My brother was very social, so all of the people that was social during his era, they adopted me while we was at the same school, and then as they faded out, then my class was just the oldest class. That's when the bullying started and all that. But I
yeah,
was
they always wait till the older people leave.
right.
Because it was the same way with me.
So then, you know, my village was a lot smaller by then,
Oh yeah.
and you didn't really know who to talk to.
As you get older, your village gets smaller and
Right.
smaller. I'm gonna tell you, my village was so large. Like I said, I had blended family. I had additions. I had extra aunties. I ain't know where they came from. Extra granddaddies, like just everywhere. And as like you said, when you're growing up, you're labeled as those people. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But as they fade off, people forget who they were.
Right.
And now you have to develop your own self. And when they realize, oh, you kin to such and such, or that was da 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 da, you're like, yeah, but the way you treated me is not the same way you treated them. You see what I'm saying? Or you treated me when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
You know what
No,
I'm saying?
like for me, I'll just go as far back as probably like seventh, maybe eighth grade. Um, one of my homegirls now, that was my village because her mom put up with us all the time, day or night. She would take us places. She would uh, do stuff with us, even if it's something little. She would make sure that me and my stepsister was included, and I thought that was really cool that we could had just had a place where we could go and just be us and have a little freedom plus be able to go about. So her aunts and uncles became our, you know, part of
Extended.
our village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had that as well, growing up, because being a pastor's daughter, it was strict.
I bet.
So it was the don't come, don't call policy. And
Hold on. What is the don't come, don't call policy?
so if you was a boy trying to talk to me or my sister, it was don't come over here and don't call. Because if you want to find out what
Oh, it's
happened
one of them. Fuck around and find out.
in high school, because I wasn't able to go to like no dances or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not even prom.
That's what I'm about to tell you.
Oh shit.
When it came down to junior prom as a junior, and then even senior prom and stuff, my junior prom, I was interested in this senior.
Mm.
And I told him the only way I'm able to go to your prom and my prom with you is if you come and be a gentleman and knock on my daddy's door and speak to him. So this one gentleman came over, and I, to this day, if you're listening, I am so sorry.
Oh shit. What happened?
But he came and knocked on the door.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy was like, this is his voice. Who is that knocking on my door?
You said
We had a
in my
stained
window.
glass above the door. Right.
Nobody there.
So when you walking across the top of the stairs, you can look down outside because of the stained glass. And he saw some random little skinny little boy. And I was like, Dad, it's for you. He was like, I'm not expecting no daddy. I was like, oh my gosh. Mind you, my heart is beating really fast. So he goes and opens the door and he was like, and who are you? Why is you knocking on my door?
Oh Lord.
This little boy was scared out of his little, I don't know. I don't know if he peed a little bit or what.
What is going on with y'all over there?
So he was like, and he said it real nice to my dad. He called him by his last name. He was like, Mr. Such and Such. I was coming over here to see if I can escort your daughter to her junior prom.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like for her to go to prom with me because I'm a senior. My daddy said, meet me out back.
Meet me outside.
Right.
I'm a rider.
And I already knew what was about to happen because my dad was in the Marines. He kept fit.
He kept for Christmas on that one.
Literally. Every morning he would wake me up and we would go running. You see what I'm saying? So I already knew where we were going with that when he said, meet me out back. So the boy meets him out on the side of the house because they didn't go all the way in the back. They went on the side of the house. And my daddy said, if you can beat me in this race, I will allow you to take my daughter. I already knew what that was going to do.
That's that bullshit right there. Basically, he's saying no without saying no.
Exactly. I used to run track.
Me
And
too.
I could never beat my daddy.
I used to run track too, but nah.
But the worst part of me is when my daddy started running, especially if me running together, I stop and laugh because of the way my dad runs.
Mm-mm.
So it's like I gotta keep focused. But I already knew what the situation was. He was like, all right, I'm gonna beat you, talking mass junk. I'm like, yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Did your village step in and try and save it? Oh no.
No, the village stood outside and watched the race.
They was like, "Oh, this gonna be funny. Let me see this
Right,
shit."
right. Because they knew the process of don't come, don't come.
Oh wow, that's a shame.
Right. And I'm in high school
Oh,
though.
poor little thing.
A junior at that. Man, my daddy told me to call it. I said, ready, set, go. By the time I had the G O out my mouth,
Mm-hmm.
my daddy was already halfway down. And the boy was still standing there.
Like, you better go ahead and run.
I'm like, run. Yeah, I didn't go to junior prom that year.
I didn't think so. And see, it's the flip for me. I went to everybody prom. Everybody went to ball. I was there. I ain't had no dates for both of them. I was like, I want to go. I'm buy a ticket. I was taking by my senior prom. I was taking pictures with everybody else. They was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Hey, I know these people, so I'm gonna take a picture with them. What I'm gonna take me a date for? I can't have a true boyfriend because I'm related to like 2/3 of the state, legitly."
Yeah.
So my mom, it was more of a I need to know who this person is. And then if I didn't know, then she getting the phone tree and she calling her friends. Hey, so this is so and so, and this is his parents, and do you know anything? Now I'm like, yeah, never mind that. I
That's
just
how it
wait.
was. I went to my senior prom, and I went to senior prom with the boy I used to bully in middle school.
Mm,
And my family, literally, like you said, here in Hampton, is very small. You know everybody, and if you don't know everybody, everybody know you.
mhm. See, everybody knew my parents. If they didn't know my dad, they knew my mama because all they had to do was look at me and be like, "You so and so daughter," and
Yeah, everybody tell me I look like my
I'm
daddy.
like, yes. I'm like, why? He's like, back in the day, I'm like, no, we not going there. We not going there. But didn't really start noticing villages until when I had my first child. So many people came and helped me out between being pregnant all the way through when I had to bring him back home because I was supposed to go on a TDY. Man, if I could have just sat there and allowed my maturity to really sink in more, because you're 21, you don't know shit. um, I really would have appreciated those people more by keeping in touch better. At least, I mean, most of them on my Facebook with them, but it is not like I I see anything of theirs, and I don't know when they see anything of mine until they like it or whatever.
Mhm.
But that's when I started realizing that, villages exist and people are there to help you. At one point, I used to say, I'm the one raising my kid, ain't nobody. But that's not true because a village does help you raise your kid. Even with as my older one, and we moved to different places. I met so many beautiful people, so many helpful people. Some of them I'm still great friends with. Some of them I feel like our family. And sometimes the people that are in your village see something that somebody else do for you or whatever. Now all of a sudden they hating on you, or at least hating on you to that person. And now that person is starting to look at you like that person views you now as, oh, well, I can't help you. And I'm just like, I, and you already know where it's coming from.
Mhm.
That's the shit about villages that hurt, because you can, no matter where you're at, it only take that one villager to decide to start a fire.
Who are you telling? And I agree with you 100% on that because when I first had my son, I had a huge village. I had friends that came over to check on me. I had family members I didn't even speak to
Hmm.
would come and send me stuff. And the whole time I was pregnant, I had my immediate village. I had my dad, my sister, well, both my sisters, my brother, my mom, auntie. You see what I'm saying? All of that.
I just had military people.
And when I got to the hospital, I had a phone tree. Literally. I'm still not thinking I'm about to have a baby because it wasn't my due date. But my child said something else.
She, so did mine.
So having that village and that phone tree, all I had to do was send out one message and it spread and
Oh, okay.
everybody was able to, get in contact. But I saw my true village when I literally gave birth. You know, when you're in that delivery room, they tell you only one or two people can be in there.
Hmm.
I had my mama, at the time, her husband, my sister, my best friend,
That's too much for
my
me.
brother, and at the time, his girlfriend.
Oh no, that's too much for me. I'm like,
Everybody was up in there seeing all the good.
Well, I had a C-section, so nobody could be in. Now, granted, I had a group of friends that was there with me when my water broke, because in my mucus plug, well, my mucus plug came out, but that's because we was having a baby shower at my house, at my apartment, and I'm dancing. MC brings Uchi Coochie la la la. All of a sudden, I was like, let me go to the bathroom. I was like, I called my homegirl. I was like, yo, T. She came in because, she know medical stuff. She worked in medical. I was like, what the fuck is this gummy stuff? She's like, girl, you gotta go to the hospital. So my village packed me up and took me to the hospital.
Yeah.
Now they did stay with us at the hospital, and it was my boyfriend, my girl, my homegirl. Well, she like my sister now, T. Um, and whoever else was at the baby shower, because don't get me started naming people, because I might not even be friends with these people anymore. But T, that's my ex. And, they're helping my boyfriend get prepared and stuff. But we had to wait like 24 or 36 hours before I can get my C-section, because uh, I wouldn't dilate or whatever. But
I was in the hospital at 9 o'clock and I was trying to eat some Chinese food. My mucus plug came out, didn't know what it was. I was on the phone talking to my mama. My mama calling my sister, telling her, you need to get off work to go get your sister. I tried to call my baby daddy, thinking he know, because he got multiple kids running around here all over the place. But that's neither here or there. He telling me, you ain't about to have a baby because you ain't panicking, you not screaming and hollering. And I'm like, my pain.
I wasn't either.
You see what I'm saying?
My god brother called the hospital and explained to them what's going on. Even MFs thought that I was just a regular civilian who flew over to visit him. And I was like, I'm in the military too. They was like, oh.
So I saw my village. My brother, they thought my brother was the baby daddy.
Oh, wow.
The way my brother took care of me, shout out to my brother. Love you, little bro. But that was my village. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even though I won't in the hospital screaming and hollering, my mama was 3 hours away. I got in the hospital at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
They called my mama. My mama was there. I was eating popsicles until 12 o'clock.
See, that's the caveat with me. I was stationed in England, so wasn't nobody. I wanted people that had passports. Dad, I love you, but they was like, "Well, I already been there." I was like, "Well, damn, don't I matter?" But that's the emotional stuff.
Yeah.
After I had him, know, I called all my villages and was like, "He's here."
Yeah, literally, my village was there. And like I said, that was just the small portion.
Mhm.
After I had him and I was at home, my village became a little bit bigger because he wasn't even 3 days old and he was in Maryland
Oh no.
traveling. Had grandparents out there, I didn't even know who are you? Because my mom, she was a hairstylist.
Mm.
Shout out to all the people in Maryland. Love y'all. Thank you for taking care of my mom. But they became my village. You see what I'm saying? If
Oh
I needed
yeah.
anything, they were there. If my mama called and said, "Hey, my daughter is this," or the grandbaby, because after you have kids, it's not about you no more. It's about the kids.
Yeah, no, my girl had my see, I met my girl KC while I was pregnant. So it was after I had my son that, she became a real asset to my village. But at the time I was a ghetto girl, I guess you want to say. So, like, I call him in a hot beat. Yo, can you watch him? Cause I'm about to go upside this NIGGA's head, shit like that. Cause I was like, I'll hit them before they hit me, cause I had went through an abusive relationship, and I was like, no. So my village helped me realize that it's more important to be the mom than be the partier, and I appreciate them for that because it wasn't like I was out every weekend and all that stuff, but we would have conversations either at work or at lunch or whatever. And, they would encourage me and, you know, let me give me advice on thinking about things a different way. It's just, it get hard when your village is here. And then here come them orders. Now here you go, and you got to establish another village. I was very blessed to have a village at each place I went to. What no matter if it was big or small, but most of my village as an adult has been the military. So when I getting out the military, I had neighbors that became family. And then I had my second child a few years later. They came out and was villages. Um, Not so much when I first came home from the hospital because don't nobody like coming to see a baby before a certain amount of time sometime. But once that
Now they don't care.
once he could be on the go, everybody, oh, he's so adorable. I'll watch him and stuff like that. And I appreciate it because like with my neighbors that are like family, I call them Nana and Papa, or I call them Mom and Papa. Um, they really helped me along with my aunt. My aunt, she had already been there and all that stuff, helping me through the pregnancy, coming to check on me, and all that stuff. But when it came to having to need somebody, if I had to go out of town for my job, or if I had to stay late at work, or if my child was sick, those my neighbors and my son's godmother who was at my job, they really stepped up and would help me at the drop of a dime. And
Yeah.
I that's when I started reflecting back to all the beautiful people that I met who was also part of my villages. And I was like, okay, it's funny how just like in real life, villages do, they do move. Like when they do the trade for the marriages and stuff to try and keep things, and certain tribes don't exist, yes, because they were whatever, but also they was absorbed into another tribe. So that's how I had to look at it from the military standpoint. And then when I had got out and I had the second child, all my military was gone.
Mm.
So I was thankful to also have civilians now.
Yeah, and I agree because when I was in the military, I had a village. I knew everybody, even when I was stationed in other places,
Hmm.
there was always a village. And it was difficult coming out of the military to civilian life because it's like you're so used to a certain structure and
Right.
certain village in the military to come to people and you be like, they be like, what are you talking about? Or why do you do that? Or this is how we do it. You see what I'm saying? And that's when I noticed as an adult
Hmm.
in the civilian side, my village started to get real small compared to the blended village, like I told you guys about
Hmm.
earlier. And me, as of right now, my village consists of 10 people.
See, I can't say 10 people because I got my mom, her side, I got my dad and his mom's side. Um, I may not see them often, but I know, like, my cousin Gigi, shout out to Gigi, my cousin A Boogie, shout out to A Boogie. They, when I come in town, they take care of it, period. I, I don't have to want for much, need much. And when I bring my kid, well, first kid, yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't need much. Gigi, his godma. And the second kid, same thing. And her brother, the godfather. So, and that's not the reason why they help. But the closeness in how you can help or affect somebody in a positive manner or in a comforting manner allows you to be more apt to absorb that type of village instead of just people saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because now it's at the point where, look, the first kid, I spent 4 years 3 years overseas with him the first time, and then 4 years, a year with a year and a half without him, and then another 3 years with him. So for 4 years straight, I was overseas. I I knew two people with a cell phone, and internet was barely going, crazy. You had the AOL still going on. I get back from overseas and it's bananas. And when I get here, I'm like, I'm trying to find a village, and it's like, don't nobody want to really help me. They just want to get me where I need to be so I can get to work. And so it took a little process in that. And I, I surrounded myself with a whole bunch of great homegirls, and a few of them they ended up being like sisters to me because of you know how close our friendship was, and then how they helped me out with my child and stuff. But even friends can be a village for you because aside from your child, you need somebody that you can have a peace of mind with.
Yeah.
And it don't necessarily have to be a man. You just need people around you that are uplifting and supportive, and you know, you balance each other. You can bounce each other off of each other and build up each other and stuff.
But that's the perfect words you said. Positivity and build on each other.
Not
When
a
I
good
say
one.
I have 10 people in my village, I need to correct myself. I have 10 people in my immediate village. Like they've been there over the years. I can say 20 plus years or whatever. Those are my village right there for the people that I have no problem just opening up to and we can talk about anything and everything.
Hmm.
I do have other villages though, per se. I have my church. I'm in
Okay.
a lot of women's groups. I'm in a mom's group. You see what I'm saying? So I have that village where if I need to just release myself as a mom, I have that village of moms that I can just talk to, laugh with. Our kids can play together. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do have other villages outside of my main village. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So that's why I needed to correct myself. I do have other villages, but it's not that 10 villagers that I can be like, hey, I'm not feeling good. Can you go give me some ginger ale and leave it
Right.
on the step? Or I'm unable to drive and I don't want to call the ambulance because who's going to be here with my son? You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? So it's one of those where they will drop anything at a dime and they're there.
Please, I had a whole ass vehicle access to for like I don't know how many years, and that was a blessing because I'm using somebody's vehicle all the time, like it's my vehicle, and I don't know if they ever had a problem with it, but they didn't tell me they had a problem with. That's a villager response, a real villager. Um, I don't want to say response. Um, trait
Mhm.
that a lot of villagers don't have. They're sacrificing something of theirs so that you can either do what you need to do or it allow you a little bit of comfort. But what do you do? How do you repay that for somebody? How do you and that's the part I always think that I have to repay, but I also think about the pay it forward aspect because I was in one of those situations too. Now this man had deployed with me like 2 years earlier, and maybe a year earlier. But either way, I was in a situation. He seen that I was in a situation. This man gave me gas money, bought me some food, and just told me, "Hey, pay it forward." Because I asked, what's your name? I knew him, but I didn't know his name. I knew him from my job and from one of the tent mates I had when I deployed. And I was like, well, sir, what's your name? I know you're a colonel. Um, where, what's your address so I can send this money back? And he was like, nah, somebody did it for me. You just do it for somebody else. So that's what I try to live by, the pay it forward aspect now. I've lived by that too much because I've gone overboard and it became oh, she paying it forward, well, let me take advantage type situation. And I don't know, I may have made someone in my village feel like I was taking advantage of them. And if I did, I apologize because that was not my intent. But as you get older and get more mature, that's when certain things start clicking to you. Like I was raised real gullible. So there's a lot of shit out there, even now, that I'm like, I try to just joke off or I'm trying to absorb because I'm like, well, I don't know that shit. And then, I closed myself off from my village and stayed in my bubble for a real long time. So now getting out of my bubble, the villages aren't the same because they've had other villages that they've built.
But that's why when you were talking about how do you show or repay, if they're true villagers, you don't have to repay them anything except for a thank you and showing that you're appreciative of them helping you.
Mm,
Um, like you said with the vehicle situation, yeah, there's gonna be times where your villagers be like, "Yo, she done left garbage in my car." You see what I'm saying? But it's not that big to cut you off. You will know your true villagers because of the fact that they don't mind coming to you to say, "Hey, this is bothering me,"
mm,
or I need to do this or I need to do that. So, like you said, paying it forward is always a great thing. Um, and your true villagers, if they did something for you, one day it's gonna come where you're gonna repay it back to them, and you're not even gonna realize you're repaying it back. You see what I'm saying?
mm.
And it doesn't have to be in the same format. You could be repaying them back by just going to the house, sitting, and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Small stuff like that
Matters.
matters. And
Yeah.
a lot of people think it has to be this big flourish, oh my gosh, materialistic
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
something real lavish and extravagant.
Yeah, it's the small things. When I say the small things, y'all, comment if you
Right.
understand where I'm coming from.
Leave your
Because
comments. We'll reply anytime.
hey, just like how I come over there and chill with you, or you come over here and chill with me, or our kids at a sporting event and we just sit in the car, chatting it
Mhm.
up. That small piece where I know I be like, hey, Kim, chat it. We can be talking about anything and everything.
Please, you the one that dragged me out the house the most.
You see what I'm saying?
'Cause
And
I'm a homebody.
that
People,
that is a
people too
village.
much.
It's been times where she didn't even know I was going through something at home. And she just called me or texted me and said, hey girl, I was thinking about you. Or hey girl, what you doing? Let's meet up. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That small little thing can make a huge difference. And that's how you know who your true villagers are.
Right.
Because you're gonna have villagers in there, like you said, that are just using you because they know you're that
That or they
gullible.
want to be in the
Yeah,
mix.
that's right.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you learn. You gotta cut them off. Family, no family, you gotta cut them off because, like we said earlier, it's about that peace, that
Hmm.
trust, that understanding, that loyalty.
Girl, I could have had a village for the longest time. I mean, they were still villages, but like my stepmom family, I ain't know none of them, and I'm coming from overseas. Oh, I was vicious, girl, and I would say hi, but I'd have my nose turned up and everything. It wasn't till after I had my second boy that I calmed down because I had gotten out the military, and by the time I had him, a lot of the military like abrasiveness had calmed down. But after I got started getting to know them. Now, don't ask me who belongs to who. Don't, because my stepmom had 18 siblings, so don't ask me who belongs to who. Don't ask me if one's a sister or a niece, because as long as they don't start talking that island talk, I'm okay. Because every time they start talking the island talk, I'm like, what you say about me? Now they know I'm just joking now, but back then I didn't. I was joking. I was like, they over there talking about me. Nah, I ain't going for that. So I was like real standoffish. But after I became more relaxed and we became cool. Shoot, I love them, all of them. They like I'll say they're all like my cousins because her sisters, I want to say they about we're all in like the same 70s, 60s, 70s kind of way. So I say they big cousins.
I mean, hey, I feel you, but it's all about who's in your village. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So,
Case of
viewers,
uh,
let us know. Do you have a small village,
a big
a big
village.
village?
Is there a villager that
Is
you
there
wish you
is
could get
right?
rid
Is
of?
there even a village that you actually
Right. Do you need a village? Hey, the patio with Kim can be your village.
right? Y'all, and
We
that's the
could
whole
have you
point.
on the show.
That's why we here. Y'all are our village because we want to hear from you guys. And then there's sometimes when me and her are just up here kicking it, and we're reaching out to y'all,
Right.
and you like, yo, they hit on the same thing I was just thinking about. That is being a villager and not really knowing.
Right. It's like a case in point. You going through something and you really wish you had someone that you could truly talk to that was unbiased. We that. We that. Put in the comments. Hey, we might even be able to set up a telephone arrangement so that we could talk to you outside of the show and see if this is something that you want to be talking about on the show. Now, granted, we are limited on where we can call. I apologize for all y'all overseas. But we appreciate y'all, and if you can drop us a line in the comments, hey, hit us up on the messenger, even our email, the patio. Oh, crap, the patio. Oh, crap. I'll get back to that one, but I'll put it in the comments after the show. Cause I don't remember if it's the patio pod.
Just worry about it after.
Yeah, I'll put it in the comments. But
reach
like,
out. Like we check the comments, we check the messenger, especially if you overseas, because I know sometimes you're like, who can I talk to? Or, I just need to release. We here for you to just vent.
Right.
Listening ears, baby.
You might have someone that's been through the same situation as you that you don't want to talk about it to because they may want you to think of it the way they went through it. And you just want to have somebody to talk with. And we don't know you from Adam, so all you got to do is talk. We some listeners over here. You might not think it because we talk all through the show, but we some listeners. Hey, and if you want our advice or our guidance, then we'll share some things with you. And that's if we've even been in that position. You never know. We might have someone else who's able to reply to your comment in re of us and give you what you needed and you didn't even know you needed.
Exactly. So if you comment and you don't want your name said, just put it in there saying, hey, I don't want my name said, just say anonymous. We'll use that as the topic and we can go from there. And you know what? Your topic may be a topic that we've never talked about. It may be a topic that we have talked about, but you want to expand it from a different view.
And it also may bring us into a whole nother topic or season of topics that branch into something even wider or even more in depth, even more personal. You never know. There's a lot that we don't know about each other, but from the moment I walked over and said, what's going on, this one right here, she's like, oh, that's my friend. And from that moment on, we've been friends. I done came over our house. I done brought food over. She done came over my house. She done brought stuff over. It's
that vibe. It's that vibe.
Right. It's all about finding someone you're compatible enough with that even though you don't know from Adam and don't know what their struggles are, if you have that vibe, eventually you'll have that vibe to just start sharing what you've been through back and forth. And that's a village too. It only takes one person to be a village for real, but it's nice to have more than one to go to. And hey, you got us. You might want to specifically ask one or the other or both of us something. We are more than welcome. Even when the show ends, you do it, we're going to respond no matter what.
We are.
And we appreciate y'all coming through to the patio because we've got a lot of things that we need to talk about with y'all, and we need y'all to talk about with us. So, you want to close it off, Kim?
And that is us, Kim and Quila, and we are out. See you next time.
And your ass was asleep.